Greetings everyone, this is Fleet Admiral Alt Lexington of the Meriki Command Fleet with part 2 of mastering up a Chronos Dreadnought until it's ready for ISA. In the last video you saw me unpack the ship and put my build on it, and I tried my best to explain why I built it the way I did. I'm not an expert builder, but I did what I did. So as you can see, I'm in exactly the same place as I was as I finished the last video. I haven't moved my ship at all. It's still at Chronos system, which is the battle use, which was its first maiden battle. And as promised, I'm going to go on to Temporal system for this part 2. Of mastering up a Chronos Dreadnought. So there we go. Auto navigating. I was so tempted to do that red alert, but no, not without my resistances, and they will come with mastery. I haven't got any resistances until I finish out tier 2, so I'm not ready for a Borg red alert. Although this ship is proving quite good, so I suspect that when it's mastered up it would be able to easily solo red alert, Borg red alert, maybe even Folian red alert. I mean, I know I've soloed that before in other ships. So here's Temporal system. So we start the cut. Ready the combat log. And then we enter the system and hope to God the Enterprise doesn't turn up. Enter Temporal. Start the log, close down the chat, activate the mission, find the target, do a bit of that and a bit of that, cloak and got a full impulse to activate pedal to the metal, I think, and start shooting way too early. The enemies, they went in too far away. Coalition weapons rock. Let's do something a bit different here. There we go. We'll try that. See what that does. And we're done already. That was quick. So we close out the combat log. Stay in the system for a moment to pick up my loot, because the captain's got to get paid. Yep, this loot usually gets thrown into the replicator. Unless there's something useful I can put in my fleet bank for some fleet member who's leveling up to use. But 9 times out of 10 people don't take anything from my fleet bank, so I normally just sell it to the replicator. Anyway, that's Temporal done, so we can Depart system. And we can see what that did for my mastery. Well, we've finished tier 1 and we're starting tier 2, which will give us the resists enough to go into either a red alert or Starbase 24. We used up a battery, so I better put another one back on there just in case I get a hairy moment in one of the missions. And since my fleet bank is pretty full at the moment, I can just get all this crap out of the way by putting it in the replicator. Excuse me for a moment while I do this. Getting nothing for that. That I'll save. I think I just got rid of a blue, but so what? I don't need any of these starship repairs because I've got loads in my account bank. Always keep them handy. So we started tier 2 now, on our way to getting those resistances, but let's see the combat log and see how it did in Japori. 30k! Surprisingly better than I expected for a build like this. I wouldn't call this a high-end build because people who have high-end builds tend to do around 200k in ISA, whereas when I've got a fully mastered ship I only do around 70 to 80k, so I wouldn't call it high-end, I'd call it above average but not elite or high-end or high-end elite or anything like that. But that's not bad. Bring up the analysis. Pets still aren't doing very well. Need a keen sight. Coalition disruptor array without fire at will didn't barely anything. Let's have a look at the outgoing damage. 21. My crit rate 30. And kill rate. Well, of course I killed everything because I was the only one there. Hang on, stingers? What are they? Are they some kind of what was the enemy there? Nautican. Stinger's some kind of Nautican fighter that I didn't kill. Must have been killed by one of the NPC good guys. But still, 30k, better than I expected. So instead of ending this video early, let's try and find another patrol to do. I can't remember which one is that Klingon patrol there. I think it might be that one. Let's go over and have a look. Klingon rebels. Beta Foradon. There's another red alert come up and I was tempted, but without resists I could do it, but there's a chance that things can go wrong and I might die. And I don't like dying in a new ship, nobody does. When I get the new ship, it's like bad luck to die right at the early days. It bodes bad for the future. I've changed nothing on this ship. Everything is exactly the same. This video, I literally started it 10 minutes after I finished the last one. I just had a quick smoke and started part 2. A red dwarf star orbited by the third and is known best navigational planets. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing about Klingons. With explosion, Romulan, Reman activity, Islamic expedition. There's nothing about Klingons here. So we won't do that patrol if there's, because I was looking for the one with the Klingons in it and I can't remember which one it is. Would it be this one? Is there anything here? No, it doesn't look like there's anything here to patrol. No. Well, on to the next system. Let's try Charon system, see if there's a decent patrol there. Yes, I don't really do many patrols beyond Korea and Japori, so I'm not really that familiar. No, doesn't seem to be anything here. I know there's a system around here with Klingon rebels. So on to the next one. The only reason I remember this Klingon rebel one is because while playing it a while back, I got a damage boost accolade for using disruptor weapons. Oh, that's that one with that strain of subatomic bacteria, so it's not the one I'm looking for, it's the one where you have to activate the satellites. So that's not the one I'm looking for. Let's try this one. Sorry about this. But I'm looking for stuff that will help my mastery. Not for just random stuff. Something where there's just quick battles. Let's have a look at this. Galactic cluster, star magnitude plus 5 gathering. It's used for a gathering spot for Klingons forces loyal to Gowron during the Klingon Civil War. After Gowron's fleet suffered a major defeat at the hands of House Doros, the survivors fell back to Belalanki and the Gowron suffered a massive afterwards. Abandoned by their Romulan allies was complete. I don't like the look of this. I recognise that image, and I don't think this is the one I'm looking for either. This is something about scanning things. So Ericsson system, let's try that one. We'll get one in eventually. Maybe I should have prepared this video a bit better and know what I was doing beforehand. But anyone who's watched my videos before knows me. It's warts and all videos. No preparation, just warts and all. Nothing here. Close down the chat for a minute. We don't want to see people chatting to each other. I wouldn't want my video to invade their privacy. I mean, they don't know their chat's being recorded, so best not to have the chat up. No, nothing there but Foundry. Some of those Foundry missions can be quite good, actually. I've tried a few. My favourite currently is DPS Mark. Wrong button. Good God, there's got to be a patrol here somewhere. Usually you're inundated with them when you're flying around. Maybe there's a sector alert like Deep Space Encounter. Those are really easy. So let's have a look here, see if there's anything here. Can't fly between the stars. There doesn't seem to be anything here. A tour, I don't think there's anything there, but we can check it out. I think Atoria is for an episode, so there's not likely to be a patrol there. This is starting to get a little boring. But you see what people have to do to master up their ships. No, nothing at Atoria. Narenda. If it's that one with the Geki, I'm not doing that either. Because that one is the most boring of all missions. Although I kind of like it, it's still... Right, what do we got here? Narenda 3 has been a Klingon colony world since mid-24 hours. This hard to blah 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 blah. Well, I don't see anything about Geki, so this might be something to do, so I'm going to give it a try. So we start up the combat log. Well, ready the combat log for starting once we're in there. So we're trying the Narenda system. This is our third battle. The combat log going. Start the episode. Do that. Do that. Do the full impulse. I think that activates pedal to the metal, and there's the... Oh, it's not Klingons, it's Hirogen. Whoa, killed that in a couple of seconds flat. But it was already taking damage. That's me spamming the spacebar again, making my weapons not work properly. A lot of these patrols aren't good for DPS measuring. Bit of Tetrion there. Tetrion Cascade. Almost got our counter up. We'll give it one of these, I think, when we get close enough. There we go. And one of them. And one of them. And one of them. One of them. And see what it does. And I didn't have to shoot my weapons at it. I took that big ship down with, what is it? Exotic abilities are they called? In the combat log. Stay in the system to collect rewards. Because the captain's got to get paid. It's like Starfleet have become a bunch of mercenaries. Oops, wrong button. Quick, don't want any of that. And there we have it. Narendra system. We can depart now. In the next mission, I surely should look at my pets, see what they look like. So we'll see what that did for my mastery. Halfway through tier 2. Tier 2 now. So put another battery on again. Make sure my loadout is... See, it's forgotten my loadout already. That always happens, yeah. It never holds onto a loadout. Even if you don't have these consumables on and everything is always exactly the same, it still forgets loadouts. Don't need any of this stuff. But I'll put batteries down there in case I get a stack of 20. So now let's have a look at the combat log again. 16.72. Well, I don't know what the average for that patrol is, but so I don't know if that's any good or not. But it's something to look at. Now we find another patrol, London Core. I think that's the one with the Geki. Oh, I just thought of a patrol we can do, which will give me something I need anyway. Well, I don't need deuterium, but this patrol will give me deuterium. I've got loads of deuterium from playing this patrol because I played it every day, every 20 hours. Yep. I played a Lena system every 20 hours for several weeks in a row and ended up with loads of deuterium as a reward from playing it, but never used any of it. I got it all for because I was going to do a lot of cruiser ISA runs, and the cruiser needed a little turn rate boost and speed boost from the deuterium, but I ended up switching starships before I got round to using all that deuterium, so I didn't need to use it. Anyway, it's a long way away, so let's hit quantum slipstream and go up to warp 32. Yeah, so Lena system is something you can play once every 20 hours, and if you're lucky you'll get 4 deuterium surplus canisters. as a reward, and if you stick them in the device slots of your ship, you'll get an extra button that can activate the deuterium and give you an increased flight speed and turn rate. Massively increased. A lot of cruisers use it in ISA to get from the left transformer to the right transformer when their evasive maneuvers is on cooldown. So we're getting there. We're getting there, and that Ferengi's going to try and rip us off, but we're not going to let him. You'll see what I mean when we get there if you haven't played it. Here we are. So we accept the mission by answering the distress signal. And then we respond to the distress signal. But before we do, let me just queue up the combat log. And now we can respond to the signal that we just agreed to. The idea in this system is to defend a deuterium operation from a Cardassian attack. And you've got to try not to let the deuterium tanks take damage, because if you do, it will reduce your reward at the end. Here we go, server not responding. Probably because it's loading in the map, because somebody hasn't played it in a while, so it needs to load it up. Ooh, bit of animation glitch. So start the combat log. On screen, continue, acknowledged. Let's get them cardies. Before they do too much damage to my deuterium. Moving a little fast there with the evasive maneuvers. Reinforcements come in a few seconds. These are the deuterium tanks that have got to be protected, because if they take damage, your rewards are reduced, I believe. My pets seem to be taking care of him. And I've got no pet skill on this character. And now the big boss guy. Well, he thinks he's big, but I thought bigger. Let's get him in one of these. And give him some of that, and some of that, and some of that. And that's it. Mission complete. You can now stop here, end the combat log, and collect our reward. Well, the Ferengi tried to rip us off by giving us one deuterium surplus tank. So what we're going to do is take the rest of what he owes us. Just take it. Just teleport it on board. That'll teach the Ferengi to try and rip off a Starfleet officer from the 31st century. So that's it. We've beamed one off from each tank. One canister from each tank. Now let me see if I can get a close-up on one of these pets. There's a set focus thing, isn't there? You can zoom in on them. There we go. The Epoch fighters. See if we can get a better close-up. They look like mini versions of this ship. Interesting. Now why is that there? There we go. So we can depart system now. Well, you have to hit the proper depart button to depart system. Turn to sector space. And we check our inventory, and here it is, the deuterium surplus. Now what you do, for those that don't know, is this is a ship device and it's consumed on use, and you can earn 4 of these every 20 hours. Play that mission once every 20 hours to get 4 of these, and you put it in one of your device slots, which will make a new button appear on your toolbar, or you might have to place it on the toolbar using that. Once it's on the toolbar, you can hit it and it will give you a flight speed and turn rate boost, a big one. 350% flight speed strength for 8 seconds, 350% turn rate strength for 8 seconds, and 15% defense strength for 8 seconds. Now why does it have plus 350% turn rate for 8 seconds written there twice? I don't know whether that's a type error or whether you get double. Anyway, that got my mastery up to almost got my resistances. Let's have a look at the combat log, not that it means much in that system. Not quite 10k. So let's find another patrol. That should be enough to get my mastery up to the level where I have some resistances. And I know where there's a good one. In the Delta Quadrant. It's called Argala system. I believe, if I'm pronouncing it right. So transwarp to the Delta Quadrant. Then auto navigate to the Argala system. And we don't know who we're going to be fighting. We're going to be conscripted by the Benthans as their deputies and ordered to help them fight against an enemy which could either be the Kazon or the Hirogen or the Malon. We won't know until we're in there because it's a random chance thing. So let's start the combat log, even though it doesn't mean much in patrols like this. But I'm just curious to see the numbers, so I can compare them to other runs that I do with these matches. Patrol Argala. I start the log already? Let's just do this just to make sure. Let's give the Bempans a hand. They seem to be cowering away from an enemy, as usual. Not hitting that hard, but I'm not really trying, just after mastery points. There you go, Bempans, how do you like that? Are you impressed yet? Impressed enough to deputise me, so I can help them fight. Let's see what we can do to these bad old boys. Ah, there's the numbers going up. That's that console making the numbers go up. I wonder what it's doing. 155, 31, it is doing something. Look at the numbers go up. I'm not even watching what I'm doing. I'm just watching the numbers. I'm not watching the actual battle. I'm just doing the battle on automatic. Well, that's that done. My numbers actually went up, so you do get a chance of a stacking crit severity and a stacking crit chance and a stacking accuracy. So, not only were they impressed enough to deputise me, now they're so impressed that they're scared of me. So they're letting me go rather than not giving me another mission. I'm not going to pick up the loot here because there's just too much. It would fill up my inventories all the way. And it's all junk anyway. So we fought the Kazon, which is the most common enemy you get in that. But there is a chance of getting Hirogen or Malon. And the Malons launch those radiation clouds at you. So, let's see what that did for my mastery. Hang on, put on some batteries again. I'll go through these energy amplifiers like a kid goes through candy. Make sure my loadout is still there. No, it's fell off again. Mastery. And we've got our resistances now. Which means, check my combat log. Gala system at 20k. Don't know what that means. If that's any good or not. But we got 2 minutes till I can go back to Earth Space Dock and see what my numbers are now that we've got our resists up. And if they're good enough, then I will end this video once we've seen them and start the next video with a Starbase 24. Because I'm starting to get a little confident in this ship now. Or we could just do another patrol while we're waiting, but no. Oh, maybe we'll get one of them. If we're quick enough. Oh, shouldn't have done that. What is this? Deep space encounter. What are we going to fight? Come on, let's get there before it runs out. Who are we going to fight? Who are we going to fight? Deep space encounter. It looks like the Borg. So they're not responding. A lot of people blame this on Cryptic. I don't think it's them. I think it's more to do with computers not communicating properly over the internet. Although it's nice to blame them, just for the hell of it. It's just a relief stress. Shouldn't really though. I suppose they're just like any other employees. They hate their job, they just do it for the money. Just like the rest of us. So we're fighting the Borg by the looks of it. Excellent. Now let's pull out that readout so we can see what our console does. There we go. Not really paying attention to the battle. I'm more interested in seeing how... Whoa! 170! Now the console's working. Pity there's no enemies around to fight. Where'd the Borg gone? Come on, Borg, where are you? You bunch of weaklings. Probe me, I'll probe you. Right, here we are. Where do my pets go? They're anti-proton weapons. So in the future, Starfleet have switched from phasers to anti-proton. Bit of a cursive shearing on that one. Oh, it's a cube! Look at my resist, 45. And it took down that cube in what, 5-6 seconds? Although patrols are notoriously easy. Although these sector battles are notoriously easy. Having trouble seeing where the enemy are because I've got this up. I'd just like to see the numbers change, see if my procs are proccing. Oh, another cube, and the console's back up just in time, so let's hope nobody else enters the battle so I can have a real good look at what this console's going to do. $55. $76. And 31. Now that console is freaking awesome. From what I'm seeing, I'm no expert, but in my opinion, matters. Bloody hell, go get yourself that console. Get this shit. Get that console. Everyone should have it. I mean, that console in conjunction with Disentanglement Suite, this one, and your stacking officers. Holy cow. So your numbers go up. So, return to sector space. Did I do a combat log in that one? I don't remember. We'll have to find out. We'll end it just in case, and then see if I did a combat log. No, but nothing else came up. And there's no other logs available, so no, nothing came up in that one, so we didn't do a combat log for that one. However, we do need to put more batteries on, and we need to check out the mastery, and we're almost at tier 3 where we get the crit chance. So let's transwarp to Earth Space Dock and take a proper look at those stats numbers. Oh, there's another one right there. And there. With the Riemann shield on. One's got the Riemann shield on. And one that looks like an Omega shield, I'm not sure though. This happened to me yesterday when I came in with my Vengeance class. There were 2 others right here waiting for me. 2 of us right here that I parked next to. Anyway, I'm going to go out to the edge of the system. And that's going to ruin my numbers. If I stayed there. That buff you put out. He's either testing it or hit the wrong button or something. So let's go out to the corner of the solar system, away from everyone. Angle for the sun, to nice view of the ship. And have a look at what my stats are now that I've got my resists. Well, there they are. It's gone from 14 to 26. No, 29, sorry. 14 to 29.2, which is what it does on most ships. Most ships, especially when you've got your shields and stuff down. But the hulls, wasn't the hull at 80 before, and now it's 82? Nothing else has really changed. But and my loadout's fallen off again. Every time. And you must remember, when you're mastering up your starship, your pets are also mastering up. That's why little stars come flying off of them, because they're gaining stacks of abilities. So we're almost at tier 3, so I'm going to end this video here, and when we come back in part 3, I'm going to attempt a Starbase 24, because that is a damn good place to get mastery once you only after you've kick-started it a little, in a patrol or so, a couple of patrols. So this is Alt Lexington of the American Command Fleet signing off and saying I'll meet you back here in part 3. Bye.